We have visited Glacier National Park 2 times. The first was in 2010. That's when we used the 2 Medicine entrance. At the camp store were 2 vintage vehicles used for tours. There wasn't much activity here. Had some snow, and this is late June, like the 20th. Here's a panoramic view of the lower 2 Medicine Lake. We also viewed the Running Eagle Falls. With the flowers in bloom, the rodents are very active. Also in 2010, we went to the St. Mary entrance. Here we found St. Mary Lake to be an absolute mirror. This is East Flat Top Mountain. A parting shot of St. Mary Lake. It's June, so the deer is in velvet. Some spring blooms, such as bear grass, provide food for bears in the spring. It's spring, so the mountain goats are still grazing at lower altitudes. Even then, a 400mm lens hardly gets a good shot. Then we come upon the very recognizable Wild Goose Island. Here are my 3 shots. In the spring are lush plants for grazing grizzlies. Here we have an actual glacier, and they're fast disappearing in their namesake park. Here we see the glacier and snow-fed streams eroding the bedrock. On the west end of St. Mary Lake are a series of connected trails. We visited the 3 marked falls, Bering, St. Mary, and Virginia. A fire that occurred a few years earlier left a barren landscape. Our first falls was Bering Falls. Just downstream, we watched an American dipper and chick. The fire had cleared out the underbrush so you could see all the way to the lake, and that was true for most of the walk all the way to St. Mary Falls. These two shots can serve as a comparison between the forest of 2010 versus the forest of 2016. From there we hiked to Virginia Falls, where it was so misty it was difficult to get close without getting wet. On our way back from Virginia Falls, we saw a lot of different cascades. We finished our hike out and looked forward to exploring more of Glacier. Lunch Creek, which then joins with other runoff streams to carve the valley. And what a glacier-carved valley it is. The streams gather and follow the empty Glacier Valley. The park limos travel the Going to the Sun Road along the valley's edge. The glaciers that carved this valley are long gone. In 2016, we went into Glacier from the west, and we went to see the northwest corner of the park, which is not as visited. Most of the road to the northwest portion is outside the park, so there are a few businesses, and we visited some. The road to Lake Bowman went through some gorgeous, wild country. We found our way to Lake Bowman and took a video of the canoers coming in. The lake looks so dull in color until the sunlight hits it at the right angle. One day we took the Going to the Sun Road from the Apgar Visitor Center to Logan Pass and made a few stops along the way. One was McDonald Creek. Even in August, the bare grass and other flowers continue to bloom. Bird Woman Falls is off in the distance. Haystack Falls cascades down the side of the mountain. And we can look back at the long valley that contains McDonald Creek. On our last day, we took the Going to the Sun road towards Logan Pass. Just before arriving at Logan Pass, there is a pull-off where you can see traffic snailing up the road. At the Pass Welcome Center, there was fog. Or it was at a piece of cloud. Crowds are heavy in summer. Parking here is a premium. Once we found a place, we found above the Welcome Center were trails, wildflowers, and such. Some of the smaller wildlife seemed friendly enough. After several days touring the park, we took our last drive on the Going to the Sun road on the way down. It's a 2-lane road, so for the next 20 miles, all you see is the same taillights, unless one of you pulls off. We hope you enjoyed this.